Where the slag did all the coffee go? I don't know, boss.
Eee!
What the heck was that? Ew! What? Oh no. Oh no. Did Blur drink this entire casket of coffee? Looks like it. Oh, slag. Why, hello, YouTube. I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class BLURR. And I've got to start off with saying that this is probably my favorite BLURR, minus a few little things. Standing at almost the same size as other Deluxe Class figures in the Studio Series line, BLURR is painted very nicely. The only red, though, is that little Autobot symbol, and the overall look of the figure is good, except the head sculpt. My biggest issue isn't with the actual sculpt itself, it's actually with the paint. It's very hard to tell here on camera, but in person, if you look very closely, there's a lot of paint bleed coming onto the white around the helmet. The face sculpt itself is really strange. I'm not sure what character Hasbro and Takara were going for, but this isn't BLURR. In fact, we just got, like, the best head sculpt on a BLURR toy that we've ever gotten, and that's specifically the Titans Returns Takara BLURR release. That is the best head sculpt. This is like something from a DreamWorks cartoon. It's really strange. What isn't strange is the excellent light piping. BLURR comes with 3 accessories, the first of which is his backdrop. It is the Autobot City, and specifically this looks like the cell or the scene of Autobot City just as Ultra Magnus, RC, and Springer drive up. And I don't remember it being yellow. I thought Autobot City was orange. Okay, whatever. The other accessories that the figure comes with are his blaster, which, very cool. I like this little blaster. And this. It's a welding gun. I know he used it at some point, I just can't remember when. Okay, whatever. The welding gun fits over either of the hands to mimic the transforming wrists that Transformers sometimes have, and then the gun can be held in either hand. Either. They're both white. I would have liked a little bit more paint on them, but I could do that myself. In terms of posability, head is on a ball joint and can look down and up and side to side. Shoulders are on hinges and swivels and ratchets. Nice. There is a double set of hinges, so you've got the hinge for the shoulder, and then you've got another hinge just underneath this spot on the top of the shoulder, so the arm can actually point straight out. Bend at the elbow with a swivel just above it, and the fists, they do articulate, but you have to disconnect the forearm armor first before you can actually move the hand. And it's super tight, like really tight, which kind of stinks. Not the tightness, the fact that you have to remove the forearm armor, which is just stupid. Torso swivel, ball joint in the hip, bends at the knees, thigh swivel, and then toe articulation. Not as good as Siege figures, but pretty okay. No forward and back, but definitely side to side. Even though the figure has a pretty large backpack, it doesn't get in the way because it tapers off down towards the figure's rear. Unlike the Titans Returns figure, you cannot take this backpack off. It does not form a shield, which is more Generation 1 accurate. Also, you can't lose it, which I appreciate. I am bummed that the giant forearm bits get in the way and are attached at the wrists, but then the transformation wouldn't work if they weren't. So I'm kind of lenient toward it, but it is really a bit of a bummer. Though they could double as tonfas if you think about it hard enough. Or maybe I'm just trying to justify it in some way. Your choice. In terms of scale, here are RC and Hot Rod and BLURR and Springer and Siege Class Ultra Magnus. Yeah, it's standard deluxe class fare. BLURR's transformation is a lot of fun. I love this transformation. To start off with, straighten out the head, grab the backpack, pull it away from the back, and flip it up over the head. And just before you close it up, come to the chest and flip the chest around 180 degrees so it's pointing up like that. And then tuck that blue front underneath, like that. And then come to the wrists and flip the forearms out, open up the forearm section and flip them over the hands and then close them up. You actually don't really need to do that because they'll kind of just go over the hands anyway. Then take the arms or the wrists and turn them 180 degrees like that. And then you've got a crab monster. Come down to the abdomen and open up this little hatch here and then add a pair of googly eyes and you've got yourself an Ultraman Kaiju. In all seriousness, let's move on with the transformation. Come down to the legs and pop open the shins and then fold up the feet like that. And do that on both sides. And what I mean by fold up the feet is fold down the heels towards the toes. And oh yeah, those are ratchets. On the inside of the figure's left leg is the antenna. Flip that out. Snap the legs together. Fold the legs up at the knees like so. Once we've got the legs combined like this, come to the shoulders and unpeg the shoulders out to the sides like that. Then these little blue tabs that are the actual shoulders, fold them down. You'll see why in a minute. Take the knees, or the bottom of the feet, fold them up, and then push the shoulders back up to get out of the way of the feet. Fold the rear bottom feet in, and they won't actually peg into those shoulder components, like so. And then we can take the arms, bring them all the way back, turn them around, and there are a couple of pegs we need to be worried about here. There's a peg here at the back, a peg here at the middle, or a peg hole here at the peg, and then that clasp right there. And just getting everything lined up and pegged in requires just a little bit of force, but it's good to go. And it will rest on the inside of the shoulder pad like that. And that, my friends, is the hover car mode, and it looks sweet. It is quite honestly the most Generation 1 show accurate BLURR alt mode we've ever really gotten. Only complaint I have is 1, the underside is hollow. That's where the gun goes. And 2, if you move it around too much, the seat collapses. If you're wondering, can you store a Titan's Master or any figure in that little seat? No, you can't. It's too small. Now, in this form, you can attach the weapons to the underside of the vehicle mode. The opening at the back stock of the gun will peg into the little peg sticking off, and then the welder will peg in just behind it like that, so you can mount the weapons in vehicle mode. It's okay. I would prefer if there was a target master that could be mounted under here, or maybe somebody on Shapeways can make a piece that would actually be a shield that would cover up some of the holes here and some of the holes here. I don't know. Hey, Non-Neff Productions, if you're watching, an idea for you. Pieces that fill in these sections on BLURR and then a little shield section that pegs in up front. I would buy that. I'd buy the heck out of that. Now, in terms of size, it is roughly the same size as other deluxe class figures in vehicle mode. I was going to transform Hot Rod, but I really don't feel like transforming Hot Rod right now. As you can see, well, here's a Quake. It's still my favorite Titans Returns figure. Anyway, yeah, it's good size. Overall, I'm very happy with BLURR. I like this figure a lot. I'm really, really smitten with it. Yes, it's got its issues. Yes, the forearms are just stupid large. Yeah, the head sculpt and face sculpt isn't the best. I don't care. I still love this figure. I just absolutely adore it. It's so nice. It's exactly what I wanted from a BLURR figure. Yes, the Takara Titans Returns figure might be painted a little bit better, but I'm very, very happy with this, and that other figure is next to impossible to get a hold of for a reasonable price. I picked this figure up over on Amazon.com. It's also going to be available at Big Bad Toy Store, The Chosen Prime, and CommandStore.com. Links for those stores are all down in the description, including the Amazon link. I don't have affiliates on any of them, so have at it. Get them where you can. So folks, let me know what you think of BLURR down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you next time. And if you're wondering, yes, you can do kind of a half transformation with some googly eyes to get that whole kaiju aesthetic really working. Man, I'm really tempted to send this off to Grimlock in this now to have him customize like an Ultraman kaiju out of this. Yes, coffee.
1 hour later.
Oh no, that was much too high octane. Oh no!